What's up, Pod fam? What's up, Pod Bays? We're back with another episode of Lion on Main, baby. Welcome back. This week is this upcoming week. I mean, it's midweek, so half of the upcoming week and half of this past week. There's been a lot going on, in terms of like work. Not fun. No, absolutely no fun. There's been a lot of fucking work. Last week wasn't too bad, but this week I got like so many projects due, so many like extra things I'm doing. Like the short film is due this week. In fact, like the viewing is this week. I don't know what day. Like that's the best part. Like my teacher, he hasn't even said what day we're watching this, right? He's just like, oh yeah, end of March we're watching all the films, and I'm like, I'm assuming it's tomorrow because that's the last class we have of the month of March. But yeah, the short film is coming up, and we finished filming, okay, which was a pain in the ass. I don't remember where I left off in the story of the process of making the short film, but I'm just gonna pick up on like days that we were actually filming. So like the first day that we came back to actually film, we had already gotten like some official shots already. At least we believed that we had already got some official shots. And so we were just coming in and we're like, okay, we're just going to finish things up today. Right. And, like 5 minutes before we're supposed to meet up to film, our actress is like, yeah, do you guys remember what I wore? And I'm like, you telling me you don't? you didn't take a picture of what you wore? We told you that it was official filming last week, right? We're having this whole conversation in the group chat, trying to figure out what this chick wore, right? We had to go into like the old footage that we had gotten already and go, like, okay, here's what you were wearing. Try to find that because we're doing all this stuff. And I was just kind of pissed. I was like, bro, because we told you. We told you when we filmed, we're like, this is official filming, so make sure you remember what you're wearing because this is official filming day. You're gonna have to wear this for subsequent filming days, and you just didn't, But I was like, whatever. At least she knows, and at least she gets the right outfit, right? And everyone is in this group chat. Everyone who's working in the film, they're all in this group chat. And we show up to our location, and as we're setting up, our actor comes in, and he's wearing a completely different outfit, and he has a new haircut. And he just like walks in, everything's cool. And I'm with my director, our sound guy. He was gone. He was out of town. And like I walk up to my director, and I was like, bro comes in looking completely different, so we have to reshoot everything that we just shot last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever the last time we filmed was. Because I think the last time we filmed was like right before spring break, and so we couldn't film during spring break, and so this was our first time coming back. And I was like, bro looks completely fucking different, And so I was just kind of like, we went through this whole debacle. I was stressing out before we started filming because I'm like, oh my God, this chick doesn't remember what she wore. And in all honesty, it doesn't matter. She could have shown up in a completely different outfit, and it didn't matter because we would have to refilm everything anyways. But anyways, yeah, so I was just like, I don't give a shit. Let's just film this so I could be done with this fucking film, okay? Like, I'm so tired of this film, dude. So we sit down, and my director, he was just like, he was the same boat as me. He's like, I just want to get this fucking thing done. And so we're just like, banging out scenes left and right, just like one after the other. We're like, no time for downtime, no breaks, no fucking joking. We don't give a shit. We're just like, okay, take one, take two, take three. Okay, move on to the next scene, We're taking no prisoners, okay? Because like I said, I was so done with this. I'm like, I don't even care if all these shots suck. If at least we get one kind of good take for each scene. That's cool with me, okay? Because I'll edit this and I'll make it look better than the raw footage, you know? Because I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I'm a pretty good editor. So anyways, so we get filming done, but not completely. Like we got halfway done, and so we're like, okay, so we have to come in tomorrow. We asked everyone like, hey, is everyone good for tomorrow? Everyone was good, and so we're like, okay, we'll just come back in tomorrow. We'll finish up filming, and we're done, right? And our sound guy, he went on vacation for like a week over spring break, and he left on a Wednesday. And he came back on a Wednesday, and we were filming on a Thursday. So he was supposed to be in town, but he's like, yo, my flight got canceled last night, and so I'm stuck in New York for the night, but I'm flying back today, you know? So he's like, I'm sorry, but I can't make it to today's filming. And so I said, okay, well, we're filming tomorrow at the same time. Can you make it to that one? And he said, yeah, I'll be good for that. I was like, fucking fantastic, you know, because we had to like double up on shit, you know? I had to work the camera and do the sound sometimes. And then sometimes my director, he had to do the sound and direct at the same time, which was fine, but it was just sort of another thing to worry about. There was like so many times where like I just start recording and we start like on the camera, I just start recording. We're doing the scene and I look down, I was like, well, shit, I forgot to press record on the microphone. So we'd have to redo the whole scene again. Anyways, so we come back in the next day. Thank God everyone came in the same outfit. I was gonna say, I was like, bro, if this actor comes in a different outfit again, I'm going to literally deck him in the face. Okay, I'm gonna Will Smith this guy. Okay, before I even knew what happened with Will Smith, I'm walking up to this Chris Rock dude, and I'm just gonna smack the shit out of him. I'm gonna be like, bro. Anyways, so we meet back up, and our sound guy didn't make it again because he brought his car into the shop or whatever. I don't know when he brought it in, okay? But he brought it into the shop, and he was supposed to get it back before filming, and he was supposed to make it. But apparently the part that they were replacing, they didn't have it in-house, so they had to order it. And so it was coming towards the end of our filming, and so he's like, I'm not going to be able to make it. And we're like, okay, whatever. You're going to be editing this whole film because we're doing all the work. But anyways, so he couldn't make it. We finally finished the entire film, and I'm like, thank God. Get me out of here. I just want to edit this video and then move on, okay? The thing that sucks is that we have to do a second short film with the same actors. And I'm not looking forward to that. Absolutely not, okay? I was hyped about doing the short film, like the first one, until the actors came along. And now I'm like, fuck this dude. And what's sad is that we didn't even have the worst actors, okay? I went into class one day and I was eavesdropping on another group, and they were talking about, their actors, and they're in a group chat, but one of their actors isn't physically in the group chat. She has like a friend or something who is in the group chat, and that person acts as like a messenger from the group chat to the actress, and then the actress to the group chat. But a lot of times the messenger just doesn't send the message. And so like they just hear literally nothing from the actress because the messenger's not talking and she's not in the group chat. She like refuses to be added to the group chat. And then the scheduling issues, because like the actor keeps making excuses of why he can't show up and all that stuff. And so like this was like right after we finished filming the second day, and they're like, we haven't even started filming. And I'm like, bro, you do know that in 1 week we're showing these movies, and you haven't even done a little bit of filming. But it kind of makes me happy for the actors that I got, but I'm not that happy. So we got all the footage, and of course, since the audio and the video were filmed separately, we had to sync up the audio, which that was a pain in the ass. I was gonna sync up all the audio, like I was gonna put the audio through Adobe audition, right? And I was going to try to clean up the audio as much as possible, make it sound like really fucking good. But because of the time crunch, I couldn't do that. And so I also was going to try to sync up every single scene. So all the audio is with the right camera shot, and so we get accurate representation whenever we're editing the video. We're editing good video with good audio, because some of the audio was kind of crap. Like when I was doing the audio when we were filming, sometimes like the mic would freak out and it would like spike and blast my eardrums. And so I was kind of hoping that I just match all the audio with the video, and so whenever I'm editing, I'm getting good video with good audio. But also because of the time crunch, I'm like, I can't go through the 100 video files and audio files and try to sync up all of them, And so I just edited camera shots that looked good, and then I just put the audio in, and I just prayed that the audio sounded good. And most was okay, but there was some that was pretty bad, and I tried my best to fix it because I'm so fucking done with this project. I'm like, as long as it's just good enough, that's all I really care about at this point. And so I edited half the movie, my director edited the other half, and then our audio guy, he came back and we're like, you're writing the entire script for the second film because I'm not a good writer, and also you missed both filming days, so this is your punishment basically. You have to write. But yeah, and when I was editing the short film, I was like, dude, this is going to be shit. With my editing and my director's editing, like we put them together, we made it look a lot better than the way it looked when we were filming. Like when we were filming, as much as I was like, I just want to get this done, I was also like, bro, these are such bad takes. I know these aren't the best things that we can produce, but I just want to get this done. But with editing magic, me and my director, we managed to make the scene, the whole short film, look a lot better. With the camera shots, most of the audio, cutting and all that stuff. It looks a lot better, but it's still really bad. Our actress, she could not make eye contact for the life of her, okay? And like, I'm sorry, but like, that's kind of the job, that's part of the job description when you're being an actress or an actor, okay? You have to know how to make eye contact. And like, so like whenever we're filming, her eyes are like going all over the place except where they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? And like, she even looks dead in the camera so many times, and I'm like, I can't do anything about it though, because every single shot she looks in the camera at least 10 times. And so there's no way to edit around that. So I'm like, I just have to keep it in, And plus, like, I'm not getting graded on that. That's her fault. Her acting teacher can dock points for that. Okay. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Rule number 1 of acting, don't look in the camera. Okay. So, we had that, but then also this was a more serious short film, which, I mean, I didn't read all the scripts that were available. I think there was like 5 different scripts that were handed out, that were assigned. I didn't read all of them. I think I read like 2, and then the one that we were doing. And ours is like the only one that's like serious per se. I mean, it's about, I think I've talked about this, but it's about this dude who goes to a crisis center to find answers on why his best friend attempted suicide, right? And so there's this whole, towards the end of the short film, there's this whole scene where the actor and the actress give these really long and emotional paragraphs, right? That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to deliver these things. And so we're like, okay, we don't want to just sit on one shot of the actor or the actress just saying the speech. We kind of want to also throw in about like, midway through the paragraph, cut to a shot of the actor or actress listening to get their reaction, because it's supposed to be serious. And so we get the shot, and I don't know how I didn't notice this when we were filming, but my director, he was editing that half of the short film, and he takes me aside and he's like, dude, this guy shows no emotion, right? It's like the actress speech, she's talking, and we get an over the shoulder shot looking at the actor, and he's just standing there, emotionless. And I'm like, dude, this is like a deep emotional paragraph. She's like opening up to you, and you're just like, what are you doing? We even told him, we're like, hey, this is going to be a reaction shot. So kind of look like you have empathy, And this dude just stood there, and he's like, my director who's editing, he's like, I have to use it because I can't just sit on her for the entire paragraph. I mean, I guess theoretically you could, but it just, we would get points taken off for that because I know that's like stylistic choice. Like some movies, like they choose to stay on whoever's speaking when they deliver their emotional speech or whatever. It's like a stylistic choice, but our teacher doesn't like that shit. He wants to see reaction shots of the person listening, and so that's why we had to use it. Because I would have been fine just staying on her, because at least she gave a little bit of emotion when she was delivering the line. But we had to use it because we had to have a reaction shot. And so, director edited the second half. I edited the first half of the short film. We brought them together. I did the color correction. I fixed the audio a little bit, and I'm like, I don't even want credit. When the credits roll, just say who the actor and the actress is, and then just say made by some students. That's what I want. I do not want my name attached to this because, someday in the future, I'm going to be looking for a job or something like that, and they're going to be like, this you? And I'll be like, hey, look, no, just hear me out, okay? Please, just listen. It's not my fault, okay? I did my best with what I got. I will even, pull out the raw footage and be like, dude, this is what I had to work with. These are the actors and the actresses I had to work with. I mean, I have to get some points for making it look a little bit better. Raw footage, if you were just looking at the raw footage and you were trying to imagine what an edited version of this movie would look like, you would be like, this movie is definitely going to get a 1 on IMDb, You're like, this is definitely the worst movie I've ever seen, okay? Birdemic looks like a masterpiece compared to this shit. What is this? Raptor Pastor is probably a way better movie than this. And so when I took the raw footage, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be shit. But I edited it, and I gotta say, once again, not to pat myself on the back and pat my director on the back, but we made this a solid 3. See, it's still shit, but it's a little bit better than the raw footage. But yeah, and then our audio guy, he wrote the script for the second short film, and I read it, and the script looks good. I was actually genuinely surprised. I was like, damn. I mean, obviously it's not like a Titanic level of quality. We're not professional writers in the slightest sense, but it was good. I was like, dude, this looks like a enjoyable short film. But then I think, okay, but then we have our actors. So this is going to go from a 7 script down to a 1 when it comes to filming because I mean, our second short film is basically it's supposed to be like a date, it's kind of like a funny thing, because we kind of want to switch it up from the serious suicide storyline that we were given, which I don't know why that was a storyline. Okay. But anyways, we kind of want to make it a little bit funny, so it's kind of like a funny dating scene or whatever. And I'm like, dude, no one's going to believe that these two people are dating because there's going to be literally no emotion. It's going to be like, wow, you look fantastic. Thank you. And they're going to be like, do these people even like each other even a little bit? But yeah, so I was going to put the credits after my director gave me his half of the edit, and I put them together, and I made everything transition well and all that stuff. I was like, dude, should I put credits? And I don't even want to put credits. I don't even know if we're supposed to put credits. I don't remember hearing that, but it is a short film, so I feel like you have to, but I really don't want to. I just don't want my name attached to it. So I'll probably just put the actor and the actress and like that. I don't even know their last names. So like, it's just going to be their first names. But yeah, so basically the short film's done. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to viewing this thing because it's not just like you turn it in, the teacher watches it and says, oh wow, A+ or some shit. Like, dude, he's like, we're getting the whole class, okay? We're getting all the classes that are doing this project, basically. So it's not just our specific time, but it's other classes at different times, and then all the acting classes. We're all getting together. We're all getting into the auditorium. We're taking out the big screen and we're projecting these short films as if we're in a movie theater. And I'm like, well, I'm going to walk out when I see our film pop up on screen. I'm literally going to be like, you know what? It's time for me to leave, All right, Miss Fritz, I'm going to head out, Like I just don't want to see it. I just don't. And like everyone, I swear everyone is going to be like, dude, did they really turn this film in? And I have no shame. I'm going to point right to the actors. I'll be like, hey, it's their fault, okay? Talk to them. You want to talk about how shitty this film is? It's their fault, okay? I mean, how could I make a shitty short film, All I had to do was press the record button. That's all. That was my job. Really, all of this falls on the actor and the actress. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. Not at all. But at least it's done. At least I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to have it hanging over my head being like, oh my God, are we going to at least finish it? But also, I think my teacher, he vibes with me. Like, we're chill. So like, I feel like even if he watches it and is like, holy shit, this is terrible, he'll probably still give me like an A+, because he'll be like, I know this guy's work, okay? He makes good shit, okay? So even though it looks bad, it's probably a lot better than what he was given. But anyways, and that's not even the only film I gotta edit. Like, dude, I got like this other short film I gotta edit, but at least like that, I was given the footage, and it's like professionally made footage, and I just have to edit it together, and so like that's kind of fun. Been cranking that out, and then for my audio production class, I gotta make a podcast. Like when I found out that we had to do a podcast for this audio production class, I was like, dude, I got this project in the bag. I'm just gonna record my regular weekly episode and then just turn that in and just be like, boom, here's a podcast. And then here's 55 others that you probably want to listen to. But when we were going over like what the podcast is supposed to be, he's like, okay, it's going to be like 10 minutes. I'm going to be like, okay. So then it'll be like a podcast short, right? And he's like, and it can't just be about nothing. It can't just be you sitting there and just talking. And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? That's what do you mean I can't just sit here and talk? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, it has to be scripted, it has to be well thought out. We're going to be putting in sound effects. And I'm like, dude, what podcast is like scripted? I don't know of any podcast that, every podcast that I know of is just like off the cuff, It's just like, dude, let's just talk about shit, Usually like what's happening in today's world, or it'd be like specific, like they're talking about a movie or something like that. But nobody sits there and writes out a podcast episode and goes like, yeah, scripted show. Okay, no, I take that back. I know of one that is scripted that I've listened to. Well, Okay, no. Actually, I know two. Well, I'm just now realizing that there's actually a lot of scripted podcast episode shows out there, but I don't listen to a lot of them. I listen to one. There is one that I have listened to that it's scripted, and I know of another, but I don't know. Most ones that I just hear about or know about, they're just like people talking, and so I'm like, it's not really a podcast if you script it out. And he's like, okay, we're gonna be telling a story and all this stuff. And I'm like, I can't even like script out me talking about like giving you a review of my favorite movie. I can't just be like, okay, here's my review of Baby Driver. I can't do that. I have to tell a story. So now I have to think about like what's a story I haven't already told on the podcast, and then I have to script it. Really? But anyways, yeah. So I got to come up with an idea for tomorrow, for Wednesday, and because that's when I have to turn in the idea. I don't have to have it recorded by then. I just have to turn in the idea, and I got nothing. I have no ideas. I'm trying to think of like, okay, what's a story that I can tell for like 10 minutes, and then I have to script it, and then I'll record it. I'll add it into the regular podcast, or I'll just like post it separately as like a line on main short or something like that. A little 10-minute episode, scripted episode with sound effects. Also, I'm trying to think, I'm like, dude, what story can I tell like from my life where I can add sound effects, where they would like make sense? Because most stories are just like dialogue based, really, Like I can add sound effects of footsteps, I guess. He was talking about like this one podcast that he got one year or something like that, where this dude was he was like in Germany, I think, and he was telling a story about how him and his buddies went to this like abandoned hospital or something like that. Something really creepy. It was abandoned hospital. I think it was abandoned hospital. Well, they thought it was abandoned, but it was actually a canine training grounds for like police, and I'm like, damn, like, and they actually got caught by the cops, and they explained like what they were doing, and they're like, oh yeah, like that's cool, like we're finished here, so you guys can explore all you want. And I was like, dude, really? I always thought like abandoned places are always like they're always like fenced in, and they're like no trespassing or something, and it's like, and the cops are there. It's a police training ground. And you're like, hell yeah, dude. Just continue what you're doing. Explore this shit, We do have drugs hidden around, but just don't touch them. But yeah, and I'm like, I got no stories that are like that good. So I might just like make up something. Might just make up like a horror story. And just be like, yeah, dude, one time I was on a cruise ship and it started sinking. And I was like, dude, I got to get the fuck out of here. And he'd be like, oh, what cruise were you on? And I'm like, to Costa Concordia? But yeah, I got to come up with something. Also, when like he was describing it and he mentioned that this guy's horror story, basically, he made it sound like it was a horror story because, abandoned hospital, I mean, that's fucking scary as shit. My whole thought process was like, dude, this sounds like what was the name of that like kids horror show or something like that? It's like Are You Afraid of the Dark or something like that? Like the Midnight Society or some shit. All the kids are around the campfire and they're like they tell scary stories or something like that. That's like what it sounded like when he was describing this thing. And so like my whole mind was like racking up. I'm like, dude, what kind of horror story can I tell? Nothing horrific has happened in my life, which is a good thing. Like, I'm not saying I want something horrific to happen, but I'm just saying like I don't got any interesting horror movies, not horror movies, horror stories. You know what I'm saying? If you have a horror story and you want me to tell it, send it my way. I'll script out the fucking episode and I'll just tell your horror story. I'll be like, yeah, this is a story from one of my listeners. I scripted it out for you. Just give me a base, like a synopsis. and I'll just make up details. But yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling out here. And on top of that, I gotta help this girl film something for one of her classes. Like I have to help her film a project. Like I had to help out yesterday, and then I gotta help out tomorrow as well. She's like filming the firefighters do shit, and so like I was out there in like the hot ass sun. Like really, I had no idea what the fuck I was supposed to be doing. Like, she like emailed me and she's like, "Hey, I need help filming B-roll," which is just like the extra, like when you're watching a documentary, and you have like the interview moments, right? You have the interview moments, and then sometimes while the person who's being interviewed is like talking or something like that, like they'll just show like random clips of that person like doing something, whatever it is that they're talking about. Like the Tiger King documentary on Netflix. Whenever like the Tiger King was talking, they'll like show clips of him feeding the tigers or something like that. And he's like, "Yeah, out here on my ranch or whatever, I got like 50 tigers or some shit." Like all that extra shit is the B-roll. Whatever's not the interview is B-roll. And so she needed help filming the B-roll. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll help out. I honestly had no idea what I was supposed to be doing specifically. And so like I show up and I'm handed a camera and a tripod, and he's like, "Okay, go film some shit." And I'm like, "Wait, I'm filming? I thought she was filming. I thought I was helping. I don't know what I was supposed to help with, but I thought I was helping." Like also, like I didn't know what class this was because he only gave me the acronym for it. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is like EFM." And I'm like, "Yeah, like I know what that is." And so I thought this was like some advanced class or something like that. And I thought she would have the camera and I would have to hold like a light bounce or something like that, or I have to carry the supplies, fucking easy ups or something to provide shade. I don't know. I thought I was supposed to be like a pack mule or some shit. But then I'm handed a camera. It's like, "Yeah, go out and have fun filming." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I did my best. I hope it was good footage. But yeah, it was hot as fuck outside yesterday. I don't know why, but I decided to wear pants. Dumbass move on my part, okay? But I'm just like, whenever I go to class, I'm always in the lab. Like that's every single class I have is in the lab, and it's a computer lab, and so it's freezing cold in there. So like whenever I'm like, "Oh, I have to go to school today. I have to go to campus today," my thought process is always like, it's gonna be cold. So I wore pants. I should have known, like, because I was told we're going outside to film firefighters, but I didn't put two and two together. I was like, it's gonna be cold. So I put on pants, and then it was hot as balls outside, dude. I'm surprised I didn't get sunburn. But yeah, it was crazy. And I thought like the firefighter dudes were gonna be like really strict because they were cutting up cars. Okay, they were like cutting doors off of cars, smashing windows and stuff like that. They cut the roof off of a minivan. I mean, they cut the roof off of another car, but I specify minivan because the other car was like a coupe. It was like a small thing, and I was like, yeah, that's whatever. They cut off the roof of a minivan. But anyways, like I was told that they were cutting up cars, and so I was like, oh my god, they're gonna give us like protective gear, right? We're gonna have to be wearing hard hats or something like that, and we're gonna have to be wearing safety glasses and shit, because there's gonna be glass flying. But then we got there, and the firefighters were like really chill. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're just like cutting up cars and shit, so just film." And so like I'm trying to keep a distance because I'm afraid if I get too close to the car, they're like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Get back! This is a dangerous situation." And so like I'm trying to like keep a distance, but like I was getting some really shitty shots. I'm like, dude, I have to get closer. Like I have to get close, or else like this girl's gonna be pissed. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're like 10 feet away." And I know there's a zoom, so don't go like zoom because I was fucking zooming, okay? And zoom isn't always the best quality, okay? Taking a photo or a video at like the normal zoom, like a normal lens, but closer is better than zooming in. Period. End of discussion. Okay? Take it from me. I'm a camera aficionado. When I want to be. But Yeah, so I'm trying to get close, and I keep creeping closer and closer. No one's saying shit to me, so I was like, okay, I guess this is fine, you know. Still, I wasn't even given safety glasses, and so like I'm just wearing my sunglasses because I'm like, dude, they're smashing fucking windows. You know, they have like crowbars, and like they're not even being subtle about it. Like they're just swinging crowbars at windows and just smashing the window. Glasses flying everywhere, and so I'm like, dude, I gotta put on fucking glasses, or else I'm gonna get glass shards in my eye. You know what I mean? We were given no protective covering, and like even one of the instructors is like, "Hey, by the way, when you film, don't get me in the shot, and if you do, make sure it's from the waist up because I don't want to wear the firefighter pants today." And he was just walking around in his firefighter coat and just like shorts, and I'm like, so the instructor doesn't even give a shit about safety. So yeah, so I'm trying to get up close. I'm trying to take shots, and I think I got some good shots. I try to get some different shots, you know, because you know I was just getting a bunch of videos of people cutting up cars, and I'm like, you know, she may want a variety of things. So like, there was some wrecked doors that they ripped off the car and they threw to the side, and so I got some like got the camera like really low and close up, trying to get some like cool dynamic shots and stuff like that. I hope she likes that. I don't know. She might be like, what the fuck what is this? What are you doing? You wasted time getting this shot, you know? But I would utilize that shot. I love using like those still B-roll things of like really cool detail shots. I love throwing those in. I just think they're good. But you know, hey, maybe she doesn't like that. Maybe she's like, no. But anyways, yeah, so I also got to help out tomorrow. I don't know what they're doing tomorrow. I actually completely forgot. She told me. I don't remember. But it's not as cool as cutting up cars, I don't think. What would be really cool is if they're running into a burning building and she wanted like action shots, and so like I had to suit up and I would have to run into the burning building. I've always wanted to do that, you know, obviously in a safe environment. Like I don't want to just like run into a literal burning building just for fun, you know. On a training situation, I wouldn't mind running into a burning building just to see what it's like, you know? But yeah, that would be fucking cool. You know, she's like, hey, I want some action shots. Can you like run in, just like kick down a door or something and get it all on video and be like, hell fucking yeah, I will do that. I was staying there for an hour getting all the B-roll that you want. That would be so fucking cool. Anyways, yeah, so I got to help out tomorrow. And then Thursday, it's got to be Thursday. We're watching this short film that I just really want to bury in the ground and just forget about. You know, my friend, the director, he's like, do we just like turn this in, or do we have to like post it on YouTube or something? I'm like, I am not ever posting this thing on YouTube, okay? And I will not allow you to do that either. I will keep the only copy on my hard drive to make sure no one else gets this fucking video. And like, it's not even me. I'm not even, well, I'm in the movie. Okay. I have a short role because we were only given 2 actors, but there's actually like 4 characters and 2 of them are just minor characters, right? And one is like a patient who the actress is talking to at the front desk at the beginning before she runs into the actor, and they're supposed to know each other in the story. The characters know each other, and so they're like, "What, Jake, BB? That's crazy. I didn't know you were here." And then she tells the patient to go away, saying like, "Hey, your group is ready for you," basically. And so he leaves. So my director played that part, and then there's a part where a doctor named Dr. Matt, he's supposed to come in and be like, yo, is my 2:00 here or something like that? Like, is my meeting ready? Like, what? I don't know. Doctor speak. And the actress working at the front desk, she's like, oh, no, not yet, but I'll let you know when they get here. And so I'm the doctor. I walk in because I had a lab coat. And so I was like, okay, I'll be the doctor. And I walked up and I was like, yo, is my 2:00 here? I mean, I didn't say it like that. I said it like a doctor, or what I thought a doctor would sound like. It's definitely not, yo, where's my 2:00? If my doctor came in, if I was like due for surgery, he's like, yo, what's up? You ready for that surge? I'd be like, get me a new doctor stat, okay? I do not want you anywhere near my body. I do not trust you. You are definitely high right now. But yeah, so I have a minor role. And so because I was going to say I'm not even in the movie, so like no one would know that I participated in the making of that movie, but since I'm actually in the movie, everyone's going to be like, "This you? This looks like you." I'm like, "No. That's my twin brother who I don't know." Anyways, I'll let you know how the viewing goes. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's either gonna be a bunch of laughter because everyone's gonna be like, "LOL, this is so fucking bad," or it's gonna be a lot of cringing and like, "Oh my gods." But we're definitely not gonna get a standing ovation. Like if this was submitted to an actual like film festival, they'll be like, "You are disqualified from ever submitting a movie to any film festival for the rest of your life." Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Lion on Main. So whatever you guys have listened to this on, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and leave a review. All that shit really helps out a lot. And follow me on social media at RealJLions and at Lion on Main on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And yeah, that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Love you. I don't know. Do I?